Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV on PlayFrame. Today, we have our sights set on a big place with a big gun. And it sounds like we need to move pretty quickly if we're going to take advantage of the big gun being down, so let's not waste time. It's good to see that even this deep within occupied territory, there are still those who would defy their oppressors. It's thanks to brave men and women like her that we still have a chance to win this war. And it does definitely take a fair amount of bravery in here, this close to that. I tell you, some of these resistance folk can't see the forest for the trees. Ambushing the occasional Imperial patrol won't change a damn thing. Infiltrating their castrums and learning their secrets, on the other hand. Yes, this seems much more productive. You ready to go? As usual, Alphino has a brilliant plan. I knew I could count on you. We have that for which we came. All that remains is to make our preparations. Lise and her unit will make for our primary objective, the Fire Control Center. At the same time, we will enter the castrum by way of the ventilation ducts, whereupon we will proceed into weapons research and create a diversion. If all goes to plan, our parties will subsequently converge and together we'll secure the cannon before finally notifying the Alliance that they're clear to attack. Sounds simple enough. I'll go and brief Nago on the details. The rest of you, come with me. We'll need to deal with the Magitech patrols before you can infiltrate the castrum. Lead on. We need more Rugadine in the Scions. In my opinion. Our time having one was entirely too brief. Enemy soldiers! Here! It's true. Out of the way. I guess we got Hoary Boulder and several others. But not in, like, the main group, you know? None of the regulars. We got to amend this one of these days. Any other Imperials feeling brave? I suppose if I were a dog who looked like that, I'd feel pretty brave too. In fairness. How could you not? This way, okay. Stark, Alphino. No, who's even... Oh. Big caterpillar. I mean, pretty cute, but no. Alphino, you hold off the big caterpillar. Quickly and quietly, so as not to raise the alarm. Here's hoping there aren't too many for us to handle. Almost there, friends. Your point of entry is just around the bend up ahead. The last patrol should be here any moment. Once you've dealt with them, we'll be clear to advance, assuming they keep to their usual schedule. Might be prudent to stand watch for a moment after, just in case. All right. Let me just go set up a tiny ambush. Tiny ambush! Get out of here. Boy, I love how flashy samurai attacks are. I'm biased, I suppose. It is the job I feel most comfortable in. By Rogger, I knew you lot were good, but I never expected you to defeat them so swiftly. Dermin's the finest warrior I know, and I should like to think we've learned something from our time in his company. Now, where's the entrance to the ducts? Right behind you. I've mapped the branches, so you should have no trouble reaching the hangars or any number of other places. Understood. Thank you again for your invaluable assistance. As discussed, Dermin, we shall infiltrate the castrum and cause as much chaos as possible. This will draw the Imperials away from Lys and her men, thereby allowing them to safely reach the fire control center. If there's nothing else, I'll return to the Resistance forces and show them their entrance. May Rhalgr guide you to victory. Thanks for the help. This is your last chance to make your preparations, Dermot. When you and yours are ready, we shall begin. Oh, don't look so worried, Dermot. This is gonna go great. I like all the pink shrubs out here. It's pretty. Well, it's dungeon time, everyone. Castrum Abania. And this time, we get to go in with the twinses in our gang. So let's see. Well, I guess I should pull up the actual description first. There we are. Castrum Abania. The Alliance and the Resistance cannot suffer a repeat of the slaughter of Specula Imperatoris. As such, they will not march upon Castrum Abania until they can be certain the fortress's main cannon will not be brought to bear against them. With the aid of an Alliance contact in Radiata, you and your comrades have devised a plan to infiltrate the Castrum and seize control of the cannon. Several parties, including yours, will attempt to create a diversion inside the Castrum, thereby allowing Lys and her unit of Resistance fighters to proceed relatively unhindered to the fire control center. Weapons research is to be your destination, and one can only imagine what manner of foes await you there. We'll find out together with an Alphino and an Alisei, which is going to be great. So, let's see. Duty support, and there's our group, plus one Resistance fighter. Yep. These are all of the regular main characters who can join you for this one. So let's go ahead and get inside. Commence. This is our first time getting to go into one of these with both of the twins, isn't it? I think the Siren Song C dungeon would have been, but duty support didn't exist in the game when I ran through that dungeon. It's neat seeing the game just kind of keep on growing and being added to and expanded and improved and updated even just as the playthrough goes on. All right, squad. All right, let's raise hells. Yeah, I better pull this up, huh? The more enemies we can draw, the better. Let's go, team. And also, random guy who's tanking for us. Thanks for the help. Get him. I kind of like the difference in enemy makeup. Like, on the attack in Doma, which was a place that was occupied, but relatively, like, not heavily fortified. They weren't expecting a whole lot of resistance there. A lot of the enemies you fought were largely mechanized and automated, with just some soldiers in the mix. Here, there's more soldiers in the mix, because Ala Mhigo's a much more, like, closer to contested territory with Eorzea. But also, since we're in this Castrum where they've clearly been doing a lot of just experimentation, just lots of, like, weird, mutated, warped enemy types as well. I like that attention to detail. With some mechanized stuff thrown into the mix as well, just because it's, you know, it's what Garlemald does. They loves their machines. Ooh, we get to head back outside for a little bit. That'll be good for variety. These Castrums can start looking very samey after a while. Even outside with a view. Can see Specula Imperatoris from here, or at least the towers, bit of the arc. That's nice. I think it might be time for boss number 1. Who's looking rather big. Twins, thoughts on Magna Rotor here? This appears to be a testing facility. Well then, let's put this thing through its paces. Let's do. Systems nominal. Powering Magitech engines. I also really like that for Garlean engineering and mechs and stuff like that, it feels like they pull a lot from Final Fantasy VII and Shinra machine designs. Not all the time, but often. In addition to like Final Fantasy VI Magitech designs. I like that they're, as ever, pulling from past Final Fantasy visuals and iconography and such, and recontextualizing it and giving it new meaning within this game rather than just wholesale borrowing everything that it means from the previous ones. That's great. So, this thing is just running around like mad and being a problem. What we need to do is try to commandeer control of one of these mini cannons so we can get... Oh boy. Nope. I've made a bad choice. You need to try to commandeer control of this thing and fire this guy. I got taken out. You need to not do what I just did. Let me try again and I'll explain and do better. Okay, let's see if we can do a little bit better this time. Deactivating limiters, injecting cerulean fuel additives. Man the cannons, suppressive fire! I missed their dialogue last time anyway. So, you can see this thing gunning and running around and being a huge problem. Which is very dangerous. As you can see, you can get pretty easily one-shot if you get hit by more than one of these little paths. And it's going to keep on doing this for a little while. But you can make it stop by making use of these cannons. You just got to do a better job than I did. Oh boy. Fire. Quick. Whew! Systems critical. Unable to execute wild speed protocol. So I interrupted it just in time, which is good because it looked that like the third or fourth scoot it was going to do was definitely going to hit me. And I would not like a repeat of attempt number 1. I'm not sure if this fight always worked that way, or if that's something that they, if this cannon element is something that they sort of overhauled and changed when they went back to add duty support to this dungeon. They do make little changes like that from time to time. Just refining mechanics, adding a little more interest, simplifying things where they were over-complex. And it looks like it's about to start scooting again. Yep. Yep. None of this. Nope. Okay. Fire. There we go. All right. Interruption successful. Let's drop this darn thing. There we go. Initiating icebreak protocol. Critical failure. I'm afraid that's a fail. A notable mention for its acceleration, however. This is good trash talk you twins are doing. Further into the Castrum, then. Something in those pods. It couldn't be people. All right, we got some Magitech pods here, which we need to try to break because you can see this deployment counter ticking up. For every one of these still around, once the counter is done, an enemy will pop out. So we broke one, so now it's just going to be 3 enemies, but probably 3 enemies because I don't think we can take this one out fast enough. Ooh, we just did it. All right, so just 2 enemies and hyper-tuned, hey. So this is the treatment and experimentation that Greenvot got that turned him into Doom Guy. Oh, more of them. Let's be quick. That they should so enhance men. We must shut the pods down. Oh, I am trying. There's a 1. Don't know if we're gonna be fast enough for 2, though. And we did. Okay, nope, nope. Just a little too slow. That's fine. Oh, it's boss time again. Subject number 24. A third eye? That man's Garlean. And he's undergone extensive enhancements. Hostile presence detected. Subject number 24, engaging arcane combat mode.
Let's give them a show.
Commence fire ether loading. Well, look who learned how to use magic. 24 protocol initiated. Commencing fire attack. Yep, stack up. Thank you. Inhibitors disengaged. Fire ether output level maximum. Oop. That's kind of neat. So, with this boss, warning, fire ether overload, combat system throttled, defensive functions impaired. With this boss, basically, for each element, they will hit you with one magic attack, then a second magic danger puddle attack, and then both of them at the same time, and then you'll get a little window of time to just wail on them. And then next element, next pattern. So we're in ice, so a grid. That's attack 1. Attack 2 is this, so we all need to spread out so there's no, like, none of us are standing in 2 circles. And now we're gonna get a combination of both. Grid. Grid. Spread out, oh boy. Whew! Made it.
It's all over now.
And now it's time for lightning ether. Attack number 1, okay. We need one person standing by each of these things. Oh, and these are just going to lock onto each of us, so we need to make sure we spread out, so we're only getting hit by one. And now a combination. Stand here. And then you two, very good. And now it'll pretty much loop that pattern until we beat it. And we've beaten it, and not a moment too soon. All right. A Garlean who can use magic. It seems they seek to augment their people's weakness. And it seems that to some degree they have succeeded. Now there's a view. Another facility up ahead. By the way it's set apart, I'd wager it's important. Yes, but first, just so many enemies. So one thing that doesn't ever really get explicitly explained in the game's mechanics, but is a wonderful little character detail and just a great design touch, is when you are going into a dungeon with these trusts here, like just NPCs like Alice and Alphino, their AI in combat actually does each have some unique character-specific quirks. For instance, and I'm hazy on some of these details, so folks in comments feel free to correct and expand upon this, but Alphino, acting as a healer, I'm reasonably sure will prioritize Alice if there's multiple characters who are, like, low on health. And Alice, unlike many of the other characters who are damage dealers, will immediately use your limit break to attack something the instant it is full. She will not wait for an opportune moment. Just as soon as she is able, she will do it. Just impatient to do that damage, which is a great touch. They certainly do not want us here. And that only makes it more inviting. There's a lot more like that. Comments, feel free to expand on it. I'm sure there's actually quite a few little touches like that I don't know about. No spoilers, though, obviously, because there's additional characters and additional neat touches that come into play in future expansions. And we'll get to those eventually. Once we take this out, I think it's boss time. Yes, indeed. Now that's a Final Fantasy VII looking thing if ever there was one. I don't know if that's actually explicitly a real Final Fantasy VII thing. It just sure does look like one though, right? Like you'd fight that in a Midgar sewer or something. Inferno. What is that thing? A machina or a beast? Whatever it is, it's dangerous. Have care. What fortune to receive such a promising test subject, said an off-screen scientist, I guess. Where are you? Are you even here? Are you visible? Guy? No? Okay, well, whatever. Let's break the toy. What was this thing before it got extremely augmented? Look out. This way, little one, this way. Time for your medicine. So it goes to this station over here and gets amplified. Physically even, its left arm has grown and is all like throbby now. If I'm not mistaken, I think this fight has been simplified since duty support was added. It may be that I'm remembering a different fight, but I think it used to be that once these arms were amplified like this, that every now and then there would be sort of a, they would reach back for a big wind-up with one of those arms. And you'd need to, they wouldn't give you a danger puddle, you just need to watch the enemy's animation and see like, oh, it's about to swing the big arm, do not be in front of it. This could be me thinking of a different boss though, in which case, I guess spoilers for the future or past? I don't know, man. It's so many bosses, you can't remember all of them. This way, little one. Time for your medicine. Again, I guess it's time for the other arm. Yep, there it is. Oop, and also a Deathclaw going for Alice. I don't know what it would do, but we can't have that. And also, ooh, this thing is going and taking another charge to the injection device thing here. And I don't know what would happen if it got that third charge, but I absolutely do not want to find out. Oop. Big puddles. Ow. Yeah, ha ha ha. We're fine. Finish the thing. There we go. Good job, team. This merits a Lalafell cheer. The technician had said, well, we have data enough. We will learn from this. Good job, you three. I wonder how Lise fares. Me too. I'm only just limbering up. I love how eager you are to get stronger and prove yourself and just and be more powerful and more able to help and achieve things for us. It's clearly sort of a sore spot for her. Anyway, let's see. I don't think I need this anymore or this anymore. Let's get out there. See how this operation's turning out.
Understood. We're on our way. Lys's unit should be advancing upon the fire control center in the command tower. Let us join them.
After you.
Lys! Thank the 12 you're all right.
And you. There's the control center. Let's hit them hard and fast. Ready?
They're here!
It was you, wasn't it? Wasn't it?!
I gave the order to fire.
It was over! The Skulls had surrendered, no one else had to die, and you killed them! Your own people! Your own comrades!
You're right! I killed them. Ansfrid, Rudolf, Emlyn, all the rest, trained and fought with every last one of them. Good soldiers to a man. I gave the order that led to their deaths. And I knew exactly what I was doing.
But why? Why would you do that?
They died so that all Alamegans could live free. That was all we ever wanted. We made a promise that we would do whatever it took, so that one day the Imperials would learn to accept us. But everything comes at a price. And if you haven't got the means to pay, then you pay with blood. Service guarantees citizenship, but citizenship guarantees naught. It's not enough to do your part, oh no. You have to run faster, fight harder, kill more and more and more, and only then will you be equal. That's just how it is out here in the provinces. You buy your freedom with blood. There is no other way.
Shut up! Shut your mouth! You don't get to talk about freedom! You killed your own! They trusted you, and you killed them! Murderer! Butcher! Traitor!
Uh-oh.
Lys!
Gotcha!
I know what you can do. I've already seen it.
Alize!
Even so, the odds are against me.
Coward! Get back here!
Lord Xenos invites you to join him for the royal hunt, to be hosted at the palace. You may bring your horde, if you like. All are welcome.
LSA, you good? You don't look good.
She'll be all right, but we'll need to carry her. Will you help me?
Yep.
Thank you. Lise, I leave matters here in your hands.
Right.
Success, though. That could have gone way worse. If it helps, I don't think it does. Well done. That thrice-damned cannon won't be troubling us again. Yeah, at least that, right? Hey, congrats, Commander, Leader. What is your title anyway, Elise? Well, we did it. Castrum Abania belongs to us now. Nago and her people took Alisei to Rediata to receive treatment. Alphino tells me that she'll make a full recovery. I know I should be happy. We won, and with minimal casualties, but somehow, it feels empty. We should report to General Alden. Kryl wasn't here, but who knows, maybe one of Raubann's men found something which could lead us to her. Can't hurt to ask anyway. It's a good idea. We should ask after Kryl. Edit. I do enjoy competing triumphant music stings. Just amusing. Maybe we should speak with General Alden, just in case his men learn something about Kryl. Right, yes, that's the thing I was doing. Raubahn wishes to thank you for your service. Lieutenant, Commander Hext, Commander, that is your title. Cool. Fine work you did here today. After Speculo Imperatoris, we needed a resounding victory like this. Thanks to you, Rauger's star yet burns bright. I'm glad. I really am. But you should know that Alisei was injured in the fighting. Regrettable, but I am pleased to hear that she'll make a full recovery. Fordola's parting words, on the other hand, ring less favorably in my ears. But if Xenos wishes to invite us to this so-called royal hunt, then this bull would fain accept. What troubles you, Lise? Oh, it's nothing, really. It's just that we're almost to the end, but we've still got to save Kryl and do so much more. We'll find her soon enough. Pippin has his best men scouring the Castrum's archives as we speak. Listen, Lise. It'll take time for us to fully occupy the Castrum and prepare to advance into the Lux. While we wait, there's something I'd like to show you. Both of you. After this may be the last chance we have to catch our breath before the final push. I don't see why not. Then come with me to Rediata. From there, we'll need to follow another road south. Okay. Lead the way, General. Don't think we're too far now. And I don't think we've been out to this corner of the area either. Cold Hearth. I don't think I know this village. It's so small. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere down here. Like, here's the whole map area of the peaks that we've been in. Like, we first entered from here, out from the fringes, and helped out the little village out there. And there's the big double pyramid thing. And then way later we came in this way. There's Alagiri, kind of the camp with the big crystal where we've been set up. Specula Imperatoris up here. You don't need to know all this geography, really, but just for those who are curious. And Castrum Abania right over here, and now we've kind of gone down to this little corner. So, General, why are we here? Even after all these years, it's still the same. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You deserve a proper welcome. Go on. Raubahn would share with you a story. Lieutenant, Lise, I brought you both here for a reason.
I wanted to show you this house. My house.
You mean this is where you grew up?
Aye. Not much to look at, is it? Same could be said of the village. It was damn near impossible to live off the land, barren as it was, which is why so many of us traded our plowshares for swords. Swords and uniforms, mind. We became military men. Tensions were rising between Alamigo and the Empire, and there was always a need for more soldiers to watch the border. It was only a matter of time before the first skirmishes broke out. It's a frightening thing to face Magitech armor for the first time. But after a lot of trial and error, I found ways to bring them down. After a few victories, people even said I had a knack for it. And then one day they hit us. Hard. I was wounded and sent home to recover. Back here.
What? Pause that story, General. Sorry this keeps happening every time you try to tell me stories.
Will you remain silent for fear of the Mad King's vengeance? Of his eyes and ears in the shadows and his knives in the dark? You, who call this living dishonor our nation. It is but a slow death.
Hey, this is Lisa's dad.
Liberty or death? Liberty or death! If this be your creed, then raise up your hands, raise up your voices! Together we will tear Theodoric from the throne! Together we will reclaim our freedom!
And Ilbert as well.
Send you home to men, did they?
Aye, sir. Garlean's got the better of us. The chirurgeons say I'm healing well, so it won't be long now.
Liberty or death, is it? Tell me, soldier. What do you think those words mean?
We must needs be willing to die for liberty.
Spoken like a true patriot. But liberty should not be the end in of itself. Liberty is a chance to build something better. A stronger, more prosperous home for our people. It's not quick or easy work. And it is never truly finished. But if you neglect it, then sooner or later, you look up to find you've traded one tyrant for another.
Well, sir, I've never asked for much. Never wanted to live like a king, just wish it were a little bit easier is all. For me and everyone else. And I'm willing to die for that, if that's what it takes.
Dying is easy, soldier. Living is harder.
You may have been able to tell just from lots of the quest names and such along the way. Hamilton was having a pretty big moment at the time this was being localized. And I can see why they pulled in a lot. It does a lot of it does work in a revolutionary story. It's just funny how immediately obvious it is how much of a moment Hamilton was clearly having at the time.
Rest, mend. Regain your strength. You'll need it in the days to come. And mayhap one day we will need it too.
Conrad chose you as his successor, Lys, and I will not gainsay his decision. I have but one question to ask. Liberty or death? Those were Curtis's words and his creed. Will you swear by your father's creed before your comrades and the gods?
Liberty or death. That's all you can hope for in war. Father understood that. And you want to know if I do too. I swear to you, here and now, I will fight until the end. Be it liberty or be it death. But the freedom we win must be for every Alamegan, even ones like Fordola, though they may hate us, and the Ananta, though they may fear us. We'll fight, and we'll talk, and we'll find a way to make it work for all of us. Compared to all that, retaking our home will seem like the easy part.
A good oath. And there is naught else to say. You are indeed your father's daughter.
Stormblood is good. And don't ever let anyone tell you different. Liberty or death? Has it really been 20 years since he wrote those words? I'll leave you to think for a bit. General, there you are. Even a blind man could see that Lys wasn't herself. Not that I don't understand. To be thrust into a position of authority under such circumstances, to be made responsible for the lives of so many, it isn't easy. And when you see your friend get cut down before your eyes, it only gets harder. I'll wager she thought Alisay was dead for a moment back there. 'Tis one thing to risk your life for a cause, but to risk that of another is a burden no soldier's ever truly ready to shoulder. The fear, the guilt, it weighs on her. And that's good. It'll make her a better commander. But first she needs to learn to carry it, to not let it break her. To remember that some causes are worth fighting for. Liberty or death. Her father's words gave me strength once. Mayhap they'll do the same for her now. Right then, I think I've said enough. The two of you can head back. I mean to stay a bit longer. Alrighty. You just chatting with people? And you're gone. Okay, well. You enjoy the visit. I'll keep an eye on this one. I understand. He's been away for a long time, and he probably wants to be alone for a while. Let's head back to Radiata. Okay. I'll meet you there. So, what do you got in mind? Wait. Am I the only one who feels like I'm being watched? I don't know if it's Imperials or bandits, but I know there's more than one of them. Let's split up. You head northwest and I'll head northeast. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Huh. I still have in mind, as we were leaving the other Castrum back in the fringes, the Veladina, someone had mentioned seeing a Hure and a Lalafell skulking around. And that kind of fell off my radar for a little while, but now I am back to wondering if someone is still doing a skulk. Well, no Lalafell's here, but you are suspicious. Seven hells, he's seen us. You didn't hide very good. Sod it. Dead's as good as alive to the Imperials. Well, this was a bad choice you all made. All right, Lise, I think I've handled the issue. Oh, I see. You also did some handling. They attacked you too, didn't they? I had no choice. They're Alamegan, not even conscripts by the look of them. Barely adults. In fact, some of their faces look familiar. Wait, I remember. They're from Radiata. They must have seen us when we were looking for Stark. They probably thought the Imperials would reward them if they captured or killed... Oh gods, Alisei and Alphino could be in danger too. We have to get back to Radiata and find Nago. That's a good idea. Let's hurry and do that. Run, Quay friend. Twins! Nago! Well, there's Nago. Where's Twins? What's all this about? You two look ready for a fight. We were ambushed by villagers outside of Radiata and thought they might try to attack you too. Are you all right? Aye, we're fine. The twins are at Stark's. Alisei was asleep last I checked. I'm sorry, did you say you were ambushed by villagers, not soldiers? Did they not see what we just did to Castrum Abania? Goddamned fools. Hello. Lise, Derman, we overheard you talking. The ones that attacked you, they were young, less than 20 summers? Aye, I thought so. It's always the young ones, the ones who have ever only known the occupation. They're the ones you've got to look out for. See, the only decent work to be found in Radiata is for the Imperials, and everyone knows it. Children grow up knowing it. They have it pounded into their skulls that the best they can hope for is to serve an Imperial officer. Bloody fools. After everything they've seen us accomplish, they ought to be begging to fight for the Resistance, not against us. They've been living in the shadow of a castrum their whole lives. A few victories won't change that. Aye, you get some who can't wait to spit in a soldier's eye, but they get beaten for their trouble, or worse. Even so. And the ones that don't fight back but refuse to beg, well, they just starve. Beat the dog that bites his master's hand, and ignore the dog that refuses to do his bidding, see? In the end, the ones that learn to abide are the ones that survive. Now, you may say that's all about to change, and I believe you. Many here do. But a young man or a woman who grew up only knowing what he knows has got every reason to doubt. Remember that. Do what you have to if it comes to it, but remember that. The sooner we liberate Alamigo and bring an end to the occupation, the better. Only then can we show these youths that things do not have to be this way. Only then will they know what it means to live free. We're going to build a new home for ourselves. Together. A better home than they've ever known. That we are. And we're going to start doing that on Friday. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you Friday as we begin our trek to Alamigo proper. Take care until then, and goodbye.